Every case leaves a trail. Minutes, messages, movements. Line them up, and the story changes. It's not about drama, it's about proof. Follow along, find the smoking gun.
Today on The Smoking Gun, Howard Stern get a call from a man claiming he's a serial killer. Is this just a prank caller, or is he calling to confess his sins? Let's see what this unfolds only on Smoking Gun.
August 13th, 1997, iconic shock jock, radio talk show host Howard Stern got his own once-in-a-career shock when a man going by the name Clay called the show, claiming to be a serial killer, and Howard answered the call, live on air.
So maybe he thinks I have an answer. Is this Ed? Ed?
No, this isn't Ed.
Oh.
You haven't killed any prostitutes?
No, I never said my name was Ed.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's okay.
What name do you use?
You can call me Clay.
Clay?
Clay?
Yes, Clay. Okay, Clay. So what happened? How many prostitutes have you killed?
12.
At first, thinking the call was a hoax, Howard badgered the caller, asking if he was abused or insinuating that he was some sort of incel. But as the call goes on, Clay describes in a cold and casual demeanor some of his different crimes, how they happened, and surprisingly, gives multiple details about himself.
How else did you kill him?
Well, a few times, actually most times with a hammer.
And where do you do this primarily?
I've done it twice in a parking garage, and then the rest of the times on the side of the road.
And you're from the New Orleans area?
Yes. I knew I really had it planned out. You know, I wanted to do the whole sending clues.
Right.
Oh, yeah, are you in...
to baffle people, but it turned out no one noticed for a long time.
Right. Like you killed her on the side of the road?
Her, that was the parking garage.
Okay. And then what'd you do with the body? You dumped that somewhere?
Yeah, actually. I think she's probably one of the ones that they found.
Yeah.
Howard and Robin cleverly obtain a surprising amount of details about not only Clay, but the location of his crimes, where he finds his victims, their race and genders, but also he laughs about a suspect in one of the cases.
You got a wife?
I mean, you got a mom, a dad, a wife, children, you got any of that?
I've got a couple of kids, but I'm
No wife.
not married to the mother.
You're a white guy?
Yeah, Howard, that's pretty funny because the only suspect they had when they started finding the bodies was a black police officer.
Oh.
Turns out one of them was associated with them.
Oh, really?
So, from what we hear in the show, Clay was hunting down female sex workers, mostly African American, in New Orleans, and had stopped for nearly a year as of August 1997. And that at one point, the police had wrongly suspected a male African American police officer. From all of this information, we can gather that Clay was most likely the Storyville Slayer. The Storyville Slayer is the nickname given to an unknown American serial killer who slayed at least 24 sex workers between 1991 and 1996. Almost all of the victims were African American women from ages 42 all the way down to a 17-year-old. While the cause of death varies, the suspect almost always dumped the victims in swamps, rivers, or canals near highways. Due to the isolated locations of the dumping sites, the victims' bodies were left in water spanning from several weeks to several years, resulting in extreme decomposition and destruction of incriminating evidence. Some of the victims have never been identified. And here's the kicker. The first major suspect in these heinous crimes was police officer Victor Gant. Gant grew up in New Orleans and spent a majority of his youth in Algiers, which is the same area that a number of the victims disappeared from. After Gant became a police officer in 1980, he spent much of his patrol in the red light districts, becoming very familiar with the criminal element and befriending young sex workers. On December 9, 1994, Gant's roommate, Sharon Robinson, arrived at the emergency room battered and bruised with a broken nose. When the police responded, she accused Victor Gant of beating her. Gant denied the accusation, but was again accused by both Robinson's children and the emergency room doctor who had to set her nose. In the early months of 1995, a disciplinary hearing was to take place to determine Gant's punishment. The key witness was, of course, Sharon Robinson, who was found dead before she could give her testimony on May 5th, 1995. According to investigators, Gant had killed both her and her friend, Karen Ivester, in order to get rid of them. According to friends and acquaintances of the victims, Gant held a personal grudge against Ivester and had spoken negatively about her on multiple occasions. In order to determine whether or not he was guilty, Gant was ordered to submit DNA for testing to match against saliva that was found on a piece of chewing tobacco near Ivester's body. The results were inconclusive and no charges were filed against Gant, who was later dismissed from the force in August of 1996. So you could see why Gant was a suspect in the Storyville Slayer case. But the call into the Howard Stern show caused a huge amount of public attention on the case, leading to more scrutiny on the police force. So they started going over every file they had, and eventually investigators found something that had slipped through the
Every case leaves a trail. Minutes, messages, movements. Line them up, and the story changes. It's not about drama, it's about proof. Follow along, find the smoking gun.